Hi, it's Lou from Christian Faith and Fiction. Today I want to share with you some Christian fiction books I could find that are releasing in August. This month again, summer is different for the publishing industry, so some genres have less books than others. I've split them up into different genres. I haven't read all of these books, or any of these books I don't think, so I can't tell you what the faith content is like in them or if there's anything in there that I would consider problematic. But I'll just go through and read out the synopsis that the publishers have put out with the book. In Mystery and Suspense, Tracking Tilly by Janice Thompson releases on the 1st of August and is published by Barber Fiction. This is the Little Red Truck Mysteries Book 1. Who Stole Tilly from the Auction Block? Breathe in the nostalgia of everything old red truck in Book 1 of a new cozy mystery series. The Hadley family ranch is struggling, so Ray Lynn, her parents and brothers decide to turn the old barn into an antique store. The only thing missing to go with the marketing of the store is Grandpa's old red truck, Tilly, that was sold several years ago. Now coming back up on the auction block, Tilly would need a lot of work, but Ray Lynn is sure it will be worth it, if only she can beat out other bidders and find out who stole Tilly after the auction ends. Hadley finds herself in the role of amateur sleuth, and the outcome could make or break the new family venture. One Last Promise by Susan May Warren releases on the 6th of August and is published by SDG Publishing, and this is Alaska Air Rescue Book 3. After years as a pilot of a Navy rescue chopper, Arlo Moose Mulligan returned home to start Air One Rescue and made a name for himself. He loves his job, his life and his routines, which include breakfast at the Skyport Diner, always at one of Tilly Young's tables. She's sweet and pretty, but Moose knows his life has no room for anything more. Until the day Tilly shows up beaten and desperate and needing his help. Tilly Young never thought her ex would track her to Alaska, but somehow he's found her. When he kidnaps her daughter, she'll do anything to get her back, even enlist help from her favourite grumpy customer. But Moose Mulligan is no match for a former MMA boxer and possible child trafficker, right? Maybe, maybe not, but he's not going to let another child go missing on his watch. Worse, when Moose finds himself accused as the kidnapper, there's no backing down. He must find the girl, keep Tilly safe, and outwit a man fueled by revenge. It will take all of Moose's Alaskan savvy to keep them alive, but who is going to protect him from the love he never saw coming? Fugitive Search by Dana Mentink releases on the 20th of August and is published by Love Inspired Suspense. A murderer out for revenge who is closer than they think. When the man who killed her father is finally arrested, Catherine Hart thinks it's safe to come out of hiding until he escapes and abducts her, but private investigator Garrett Wolfe and his tracking dog rescue her just in time. Now they must work together to escape the criminal on their heels, find Catherine's kidnapped uncle and stop her sister from walking straight into the fugitive path. But when their search yields more questions, can Catherine and Garrett survive the terrifying truth? Sorority Cold Case by Jacquelin Thomas releases on the 20th of August and is published by Love Inspired Suspense. An unsolved murder, two detectives with something to prove. Detective Charlie Tasaki has never forgotten the case she couldn't solve. It's been 11 years since a college student was murdered, and she's desperate for a second chance to catch the killer. The cold case unit will let her lead the investigation if she works with Detective Grayson Lay. A partner is the last thing Grayson and Charlie want, but they'll have to work together to get justice for this victim and put a murderer behind bars. Trail of Threats by Jessica R. Patch releases on the 20th of August and is published by Love Inspired Suspense. This is Mountain Country K9 Unit Book 6. An arsonist at large, a K9 team in the line of fire. Single mum Sadie Owen's fear of being watched is confirmed when her home is set ablaze, while she and her son are trapped inside. Officer Rocco Manelli and his arson dog arrive in the nick of time to make a rescue, but as attacks persist, it's up to Rocco to keep Sadie and her 3-year-old safe from a criminal with a lethal agenda. Can he keep a vengeful arsonist from scorching a deadly path through Elk Valley before Sadie and her son become the next victims? Target acquired by Lynette Eason releases on the 20th of August and is published by Revell. Tough as nails, Kenzie King has finally earned her place as a tactical medic on a SWAT team, but not everyone on the all-male team accepts her. Rumour is she didn't get the position because of what she could do, but because of who she knew, which means she has to work harder and longer than anyone else to prove herself. Cole Garrison is a man with deep faith who is finally ready to settle down and build a family of his own, if he can find the right person, that is. Kenzie sure has set off his interest meter, but trouble seems to follow in her wake. Since she joined the team, someone has begun to ambush and pick off team members one by one. It's all hands on deck to discover the culprit and end the killing. Can Kenzie and Cole put aside their differences and work together as a team? Or will their budding attraction be snuffed out by a sniper's bullet? Witness Escape by Sami A. Abrams releases on the 20th of August and is published by Love Inspired Suspense. This is Deputies of Anderson County, Book 5. Taking down a drug cartel is the only way out of danger. When witness Tabitha Wilson's new identity is uncovered and she almost kidnapped, she finds herself on the run from a murderous drug lord, but her DEA contact has gone missing, forcing Tabitha to rely on Detective Doug Olson, a man with his own secrets. It's a race against time for Doug and Tabitha to uncover buried evidence before the cartel makes them disappear forever. Unravelling Killer Secrets by Shannon Redmon releases on the 20th of August and is published by Love Inspired Suspense. She looked a criminal in the eye and now she's a target. After discovering the scene of her friend's murder, forensic photographer Sasha Cain barely escapes alive, but snapping a photo puts her and her son directly in the killer's sights and under the protection of her ex-boyfriend Detective Judah Walker. Stunned that Sasha kept their boy a secret, Judah must put his distrust aside to protect his new family, but with the killer closing in, their future hinges on whether they can survive long enough for justice to prevail. In historical fiction, Saved by the Matchmaker by Jody Hedlund releases on the 6th of August and is published by Bethany House. After her annulment is finalised, Enya Shanahan finds herself caught in a web of scandal and obligation while carrying a secret that threatens to shatter her family's reputation. Determined to find a suitable marriage for Enya, her father turns to a wily matchmaker to save them from their circumstances. Sullivan O'Brien, a steamboat captain committed to aiding enslaved people on their path to freedom, is faced with an ultimatum from his father. Forced to marry or lose his livelihood, a marriage of convenience seems to be the only solution. As he and Enya face the trials of their pasts and a city consumed by fire, they must confront their deepest fears and learn to trust in love, even when darkness threatens to engulf them. Beyond Ivy Walls by Rachel Fordham releases on the 13th of August and is published by Thomas Nelson. Beauty and the Beast meets A Light Between Oceans in historic small-town America, where a wealthy, reclusive bachelor and an unlikely ally join forces to solve a family secret and inadvertently find belonging along the way. Early 1900s. When an accident leaves Sadie West's family in dire financial need, she nervously leaves the land she loves to work in the Hoag Dust factory. But sending all her money home means that she has nowhere to board, and she's forced to take up residence in an abandoned building, a choice that throws her in the path of the town's mysterious bachelor. Recently returned from exile and determined to keep his arrival a secret, Otis Taylor makes the impulsive decision to hire the woman he finds hiding on his family's property, with the strict instructions she tells no one he has returned. The dark halls of his boyhood flood him with memories he's long tried to forget. The only bright light is the woman he has hired. Can the optimistic Sadie teach the wounded Otis to trust again? To love? Can the pair unravel the family secrets that have long cast a shadow over the mansion and those who reside within? In contemporary romance, An Alaskan Blessing by Belle Calhoune releases on the 20th of August and is published by Love Inspired. This is Serenity Peak Book 2. An infant on her doorstep might lead to the life she's always wanted. When Skye Drummond finds an abandoned baby outside her family's general store, she's determined to foster the girl. But the only way she can is by agreeing to regular check-ins from Trooper Ryan Campbell, her ex-fiance's best friend. Sky's convinced that Ryan somehow had a role in her breakup, but for the sweet baby she'll play nice. Their tenuous friendship turns into something more as he helps her with the baby, but Ryan's ongoing investigation into the baby's parents threatens Sky's custody. Could it threaten any hope of a shared future? Her Loyal Companion by Heidi Main releases on the 20th of August and is published by Love Inspired, and this is Canine Companions book 24. To train these dogs they'll need time, patience and love. Training service dogs is Autumn McCaw's passion. She won't let anything jeopardise her business's chance of success, including her former love, Wyatt Nelson. But with a looming deadline to prove herself capable, she has no choice but to hire the one man who hurt her years ago. Relying on the single dad is tough, especially since he has trust issues of his own. But can Autumn and Wyatt overcome their past to save her business and open their hearts to love? Bonding with the Cowboy's Daughter by Lisa Jordan releases on the 20th of August and is published by Love Inspired, and this is Stone River Ranch book 3. She's left her old life behind, only to find a new love waiting. After a broken engagement, Kelly Morgan decides to move to Aspen Ridge, Colorado, to fix up her late grandmother's gift shop. But the shop is in bad shape and Kelly runs out of money faster than expected. Old childhood friend and single dad Wyatt Stone comes to the rescue, offering her a job at his family's ranch, Stone River Ranch. While their friendship is rekindled, will Kelly ever risk loving again, even as Wyatt's little girl is already stealing her heart? Hidden Secrets Between Them by Mindy Oberhausen releases on the 20th of August and is published by Love Inspired, and this is Hope Crossing book 5. He never meant to be a father, but it could be the life he's always wanted. In Hope Crossing, Texas, nurse practitioner Kirsten Reynolds has found her dream job. The only problem is that the tiny town also has Deputy Brady James, the father of her 4-year-old sons, and he doesn't know the boys are his. But as he steps into this new role he never planned for, Brady gets a hopeful glimpse into a life with children. Will he let the fear of the unknown keep him from a future he never imagined, or will an adorable pair of twins and their mother change his mind? In fantasy and sci-fi, Winter's Maiden by Morgan L. Bussey releases on the 6th of August and is published by Enclave Publishing, and this is Nordic Wars Book 1. Warrior, survivor, daughter of the North. From the moment she is born, Brigitte fights to survive in the wastelands of Nordica as a clanless one. But when a new power arrives, offering a trial to join the Nordic warriors, Brigitte enters, hoping to rise above her station. Soon she becomes one of their fiercest fighters and joins the war against the South. Caden carries the blood of the ancient Eldaran race in his veins, but turns away from his heritage after the death of his parents. Years later he is called back to his homeland and invited to be a healer for the Southern forces. With the help of an old mentor, the power inside him starts to awaken. However, this life is turned upside down when a mighty warrior of the Nordic forces is captured. As Caden interacts with the enemy, he discovers there is a darkness behind the Nordic wars, one that is manipulating the people of the North. But who will believe him? Is there a power strong enough to break the hold of this hidden adversary, or will the world burn in the flames of war? Ignite by Cara Swanson releases on the 20th of August and is published by Enclave Escape. This is Phoenix Flame Volume 1. Can Mara survive in a world where the fire in her veins is worth killing for? In a frozen wasteland suffocating beneath the dying sun, Mara is a young phoenix raised by her father to explode at his command. He's the only one who can help her control her fire, and Mara desperately follows his orders to protect their phoenix family from relentless human hunters. Her sheltered existence is shattered when her family mysteriously vanishes, thrusting Mara into a perilous quest to find them. Along the way she unravels a devastating truth. Her people may not be the innocent victims she's been taught to believe. When she comes face to face with the kind-hearted Eli, she begins to wonder if the humans aren't the monsters she's always feared. What if the greatest danger doesn't lie in the icy world outside, but in the truth of who Mara really is? Fire and ice collide in this thrilling tale of a phoenix girl born with the power of a dying sun. In biblical fiction, Shield of the Mighty by Connie Lynn Cassette releases on the 20th of August and is published by Bethany House, and this is The King's Men Book 2. Captured by the Philistines as a young boy, Zevi has grown into a formidable warrior. As a captain in King Saul's army, he is assigned a crucial mission: recruit soldiers, gather tribute for the royal coffers, and find talented artisans for the king's court. But when he is sent to Mareshah, the town he was forced to leave as a child, he faces a startling truth. The elder council rejects King Saul and his campaigns against their enemies. Yoshana, a widow and skilled woman of business, is captivated by a stranger who enters her perfume shop. Upon discovering he is not only a soldier, but a captain responsible for enlisting young men to die in battle, fury and pain from her past loss resurfaces, threatening to consume her. But when Zevi's actions in Mareshah entangle Yoshana in his radical scheme, they are forced to confront present dangers and past scars. In contemporary fiction, Between the Sound and Sea by Amanda Cox releases on the 6th of August and is published by Ravel. Every family has its secrets. Josephina Harris wouldn't mind if her family still had a few of their own after a lawsuit tarnishes their name. When an opportunity opens to become a temporary keeper of a decommissioned lighthouse on a North Carolina island, she jumps at the chance to escape her small town to oversee its restoration. As the work begins, Joey discovers strange notes tucked deep in the crevices of the old stone walls, pages torn from a lighthouse keeper's log, signed by someone named May, who recounts harrowing rescues at sea. Fascinated by a woman lighthouse keeper, Joey digs into the past only to discover there's never been a record of a lighthouse keeper by that name. When things start to go amiss on the island, locals are convinced that it is the ghost of the lighthouse keeper and his daughter, who were lost at sea during World War II. As Joey sifts through decades of rumours and legends and puts together the pieces of the past, what emerges is a love story, one that's not over yet. And finally, The Forge by Chris Fabry and Kendrick Brothers LLC releases on the 6th of August and is published by Tyndale House. As Cynthia Wright's marriage implodes, she is forced to raise her teenage son, Isaiah, alone. The pressure of providing for them through her salon is a full-time job in itself. When Cynthia sees Isaiah pulling away and escaping into video games, tensions rise and prayers feel unanswered. Angry and hurt, Isaiah starts acting like the father who abandoned him, and Cynthia gives him an ultimatum, whilst turning to her twin sister, Elizabeth Jordan, for support. Elizabeth enlists a seasoned prayer warrior who challenges Cynthia to pray boldly and believe God for the impossible. Caught in the middle, Isaiah longs for respect, but sees no clear path to becoming a good man. Desperate for a job, he wanders into Moore Fitness Inc. and encounters the owner, Joshua Moore, who introduces him to the concept of working for a coach rather than a boss. Needing the work, Isaiah reluctantly begins his mentoring process with Joshua. While Cynthia clings to hope, no one sees the coming storms brewing at the company and in Isaiah's heart. The Forge is about the power of prayer, the transformation only God can achieve, and the lasting influence one person can have on others. Those were the books that I could find that are releasing in August and are listed as Christian fiction. If you know of any more, please do link the title and the author down in the comments below so that we can all see them. And if you are an author or an independent author and you have a book coming out, feel free to let me know about it in advance. It'll need to be a few months in advance, and let me know which month you are releasing it so that I can add it to the list. Okay, I hope you're having a really great reading week. If you would like to see more Christian fiction videos, you can watch these videos over here. Until next time, I pray God bless you and your family.